What it do, man? They call me the Black Charlie Sheen. I'm bringing you a team building video for week 2 of BBR. Now listen, I'm playing against D.Rey, the creator of this league, the king himself, bro. So our goal for this week is to slay the king. It's not going to be an easy task, I'll tell you this much. If you look at his team, he got some tryhard shit. My man got 2 Ubers. Alright, listen, bro. I know I'm out here with a fucking Houndstone and the Arena Trap Duck Trio, alright? I'm a goddamn Houndstone noob. But look at this shit, bro. You, and then a motherfucking Annihilate? Yeah, come on now, dog. Come on now, dog. Now, and then on top of that, Screens, bro. Screens and Annihilate is the most... the cheapest shit ever, bro. The most uncompetitive shit to ever exist in this game, man. I'm telling you. So that... that is going to be a pretty interesting task for us, okay? Besides these 3 motherfuckers, I'm not really worried about too much. I guess Donphan is a bit annoying. Lycanroc Dusk hits a pretty interesting speed tier, right? Plus Tough Claws and all that crap. Like, it's gonna be an issue. The rest I'm not too worried about. Obviously, I'm expecting Blissey to come to this matchup to try to stop my last respects. And actually, Haxorus is a gigantic threat, especially behind screens. So I gotta be, like, I have to prepare for way too many things, I feel like. Especially these 2 motherfuckers, bro. These 2 scary-ass Ubers, bro. Shiyu is incredibly busted. That shit over there, Annihilate, so crazy. Alright, so this is what I kinda came up with. I'm gonna explain, I guess, my mentality building this team. Obviously, we're bringing the Sendu. Like, there's no way I'm not bringing that, right? This time, I'm gonna pull up with a Houndstone. Okay, let me explain to you. Week 1, I lost because I overthought way too much. In a lot of cases, the preparation was fine, I feel like, but I played a little bit way too... trying to adapt to the mentality of my opposition rather than trying to enforce the situation. It was also, granted, it was a very difficult matchup, even arguably more difficult than this one, this week. You could argue though, but what I've decided, why am I saying this, is because I decided that I'm gonna play a little bit more straightforward, and I'm gonna try to be a little bit more proactive this time in week 2, because we obviously need that win. Because in week 3, I'm playing against Joey, PokeaimMD. That's gonna be a tough game. That's gonna be a tough game. So if I don't win week 2, there's a very high chance that I can go 0-3. Which obviously would be devastating for the chances to make to the playoffs. So I absolutely need to win this week. We got T-Tar Houndstone. The set I'm gonna run on T-Tar Max Spadef, obviously for the Shiyu bastard. You know what I mean? Like, this is a big ass threat. I don't need defense for anything else, realistically. T-Tar naturally outspeeds Donphan. So my idea is, okay, let me just lay out the whole plan initially, then you will understand why I have this particular set. We're running a special T-Tar, as you can see. Power Gem is going to be for Shiyu. Ice Beam is going to be for Donphan. So I'm expecting Donphan to come to this matchup just because it's actually decent. It's good, it's physically bulky. It can set up hazards. It can rapid spin. It can Ice Shard Demense, potentially. Alright, so for that, obviously, T-Tar naturally outspeeds Donphan unless it has speed investment, right? So we're gonna have Ice Beam. We do have enough to 2-hit KO a max HP 0 Spadef Donphan. So that's why I'm running Ice Beam on this. I'm gonna try to lure Donphan with T-Tar, 2-hit KO it with Ice Beam. This is gonna be a switch into Shiyu. Potentially, I'll have to switch into Shiyu several times, so leftovers for longevity. I don't really need Smooth Rock, because there are some instances where Smooth Rock is actually not beneficial to your team. Yes, it gives you more sand turns. How can it not be beneficial with a Pokemon with Sand Rush? But sometimes you want to recycle the Wither several times, right? And there is instances, if you have 8 turns of Wither, then you have to, for example, let's say 6 turns pass, so you have to stall out 2 more turns, because you want to reset the weather for it to start from scratch, so you have full 8 turns. But then it means you have to switch around, because you can't bring in your T-Tar to set up the sand for 2 more turns. and that puts you in a dangerous spot where you might have to sack a Pokemon, right? You can't just go directly into T-Tar. You see what I'm saying? And that makes you preserve the T-Tar in that case. You see what I'm saying? So in some situations, Smooth Rock actually shoots yourself in the back, in the foot, whatever you want to say, right? So then in this case, for this matchup, I don't think I need Smooth Rock because I don't need Houndstone to be in there for way too many turns anyways. And that's why I picked Leftovers for T-Tar. I think that's going to be more beneficial for me in walling the Shiyu, right? Fire Blast is there primarily for Earthworm, just to not give Earthworm like free switching into T-Tar potentially. I know no Shed Tail is available, but I still don't want to give Earthworm free hazards potentially if Espeon dies, for example. You know what I mean? So that's the set I'm going with. Max Spadef, of course, max HP. Now, Houndstone, this time I'm just gonna go Choice Band. The reason I didn't go Choice Band in the last matchup is because obviously the Xianpao was there, and Xianpao can Sucker Punch, can do whatever really. This time I'm going Choice Band because it looks really good against Dre's team, unbelievably good. Blissey is a bit annoying. We do got Booty Press for that, but Booty Press is not going to be doing as much damage anyways. So mostly what I'm trying to do is that against Blissey, I'm probably going to Trick or Double Switch. We also have Memento. Memento is an interesting pick here just because I feel like Cloister absolutely dismantles Dre's team. Like, if certain conditions are met, aka the screens are not up, then and my own screens are up. The enemy screens are not up and my own screens are up. Then Cloister absolutely eats ass, bro. Not just eats ass, Cloister smokes ass, bro. Eats grass and smokes ass in this game. So what I'm thinking is that potentially in some situation, I might even want to bring in Houndstone, bait something to switch into Houndstone, quick Memento, fast Memento in the sand, and then set up Cloister. You know what I mean? So that's an option. Tricking the Choice Band onto the Blissey would be also pretty decent. Or even tricking the Annihilate. I know giving Annihilate Choice Band is not the greatest idea, but locking it into one move and not letting it like rest, taunt, bulk up, any of that crap would be really nice. So this is the set we're going for. 212 speed with plus speed nature is all we need to outspeed Scarf Shiyu. That is important in the sand. And yeah. Espeon, we're gonna run dual screens again. I was thinking about running Specs, but I think, as I said, if I get up screens and bring in Cloister at the right opportunity, then we can just win. We'll just eat ass, okay? That's why I'm going with screens. We need max speed. Unlike in the last matchup, we didn't need max speed. This time we do, because this way we speed tie with Lycanroc. This is a very important speed tier we gotta hit. Reflect, Psychic, I mean Dazzling Gleam. We don't really need bulk. I feel like having a strong Psychic against shit like Annihilate, for example, even Donphan, you know, Haxorus if it tries to set up, like having all that is pretty good. Then Dazzling Gleam obviously for coverage, for like Grimmsnarl, for Shiyu, all that crap. Then Toxapex, I'm just gonna go max defense, even though yeah, I guess max defense just works best. It doesn't really matter. I guess to beat Annihilate better, to maybe take a hit from Haxorus, but if we have the screen up, obviously +1 Earthquake is gonna mark the Toxapex from Haxorus, because Haxorus has 7,000,000 attack. The set I'm going with, I'm gonna go with Toxic Spikes, because well, there is Quillfish and Toxic Spike Absorber, but I feel like Quillfish loses. Actually, it really doesn't. I was gonna say loses to most of my team. It only really loses to Espeon. So Quillfish could be potentially a good Pokemon to bring in this matchup, I feel like. Still Toxic Spike if Quillfish is not brought or Quillfish dies. And we can get Toxic Spike up. It will help me beat Annihilate if screens go up. You know, so like, I think Toxic Spike is good in this matchup. Sludge Bomb, decent for Terra Fairy, Annihilate. By the way, my camera is covering it, but his Terra Captain is Annihilate, and it's Ghost and Fairy. And I'm expecting Fairy to be in this matchup against me, to be honest, because it makes sense. If you're Terra Ghost, you just lose to Houndstone, right? So like, I feel like you do Terra Fairy. That's why overall, like, Toxic Spike would help me, and Sludge Bomb would help me against Annihilate. Surf is just there for coverage, you know, hitting Shiyu super effectively, hitting Lycan Rock super effectively if I take a hit from that, you know, all that type of stuff. And then obviously recover. Eject button, again, because I'm trying to force a situation where I allow myself to quickly set up with something, right? So like I can switch, I can pivot into Toxapex after screens are up. I can take a hit and then go to either Cloister or Lucario and start smoking ass. That's pretty much the bottom line. Now, Cloister. I feel like this motherfucker is gonna put in an insane amount of work. This motherfucker is crazy right here. The reason we're going plus speed nature, we have to. We can't go. Because if we go adamant, for example, or not adamant in this situation, what is the fucking ability? It's not bashful. Lonely. Yeah, not lonely. Minus Spadif. What is... Attack minus Spadif. I don't even remember. Attack minus Spadif. Bro, where is it? I'm blind as a motherfucker. I am blind as a holy motherfucker. It's Naughty. Yeah, I forgot the name. It is Naughty. I mean, obviously I knew it because I've been playing Pokemon for 27 years, bro. Naughty Nature. We're going with plus speed, aka naive, because with this particular EV spread, +2 Cloister outspeeds Scarf Shiyu. Because Scarf Shiyu actually outspeeds us if we run plus attack nature, you know. So we have to run a positive nature for speed, but we don't need max speed. This is enough to outspeed Scarf Shiyu in 196, so we can put the rest in defense. We are running mixed. I mean, this is usually my preferred Cloister set anyways. I use a lot of Cloister on ladder, and I've used a lot of Cloister throughout generations. Hydro Pump is usually a better choice than Liquidation, mostly because the things that you want to hit with water moves are generally weaker on the specially defensive side. And on top of that, Hydro Pump just has much higher base power than Liquidation, and that by itself, even with lower special attack, really like helps much better. And in this particular matchup, for example, the only Pokemon that I need to go for a Hydro Pump against is Earthworm. Literally Earthworm. Nothing else can touch Earthworm on Cloister's moveset. So like if Earthworm comes to this matchup, I can potentially set up on that Earthworm, and I can just go for Hydro Pump, and that's the only Pokemon I need Hydro Pump for, right? The rest get destroyed by Icicle Spear plus Rock Blast. Rock Blast for Shiyu, of course, Icicle Spear for everything else, really. So that's the bottom line. Cloister looks unbelievably good, and now I need a plan to stop screens and then get up my own screens and enable the Cloister. Also, ideally, I stop D.Rey's screens, then I lure in his Rapid Spinner, kill the Rapid Spinner, aka Dawnfat, and then set up my rocks, and then I go for my own screens. That's the obviously ideal utopia situation, right? But let me break down the plan, how I want to stop screens. My plan to stop screens is to use Terra Steel Lucario, Adamant Lucario, for that matter. I've done several calculations. If I lead with Lucario against Grimmsnarl, and Grimmsnarl tries to go for Reflect, I go for Brick Break. And from what Joey has told me, because if that is not true, I'm just gonna blame Joey, okay? But from what Joey has told me, and that's how it looks. That's how it looks from the experience I've had with Brick Break and screens interaction, or for that matter, Psychic Fangs to the moves that break screens and Raging Bull. The attack breaks the screens, and then the damage is calculated of the broken screens already. You see what I'm saying? So like, if Reflect goes up and I go for Brick Break, I'm gonna get full damage on Brick Break and not like behind the Reflect damage, which is actually very important in this interaction. I wasn't exactly sure how it works. I thought that I've seen this interaction and I've been in this interaction before, where you go for a move that breaks screens and then the damage on that exact same turn is calculated as without screens. I don't know if somebody can confirm that in the comments. I would appreciate that. But it's very important for the way I'm going to be breaking screens, actually. and getting rid of screens. So my idea is that even if Grimmsnarl is max defense, max HP, which normally they're not, but D.Rey might opt to bring that against me in a matchup against me. Brick Break into the Reflect with Lucario is enough to put the Grimmsnarl, even max defense Grimmsnarl, in range of Terra Steel Bullet Punch. Now, my idea is that potentially if D.Rey is running screens Grimmsnarl, he leads with it, tries to reflect turn 1, then sees that I break the screens. He's not going to try to reflect again, but he's going to try to parting shot. And this is where obviously a priority move, my priority move, Bullet Punch, will be faster than the parting shot. So in the best case scenario, he reflects turn 1, I break it, and then he tries the parting shot, and I kill the Grimmsnarl in that case. I kill the Grimmsnarl, get rid of screens immediately, and from there, I enforce my own game plan on D.Rey. So that is the best case scenario, and then we sweep with Cloister potentially, because I don't think that Lucario exactly wins from this position, but it's going to be very important to run Terra Steel. Lucario is my Terra captain. We have Terra Steel and Terra Normal, but I'm bringing Terra Steel for this week. So this is the team. No Mints, no Sandy Shocks. I was thinking of originally bringing Sandy Shocks, but what is the point of bringing Sandy Shocks, I guess, against Blissey, right? Barraskewda, like all that shit. And Mints just gets checked by Donphan. Mints, you know, gets intimidated. Lycanroc, Accelerock. So, like, potentially, they just don't make sense, right? This lineup probably makes the most sense. It's very similar to the one I brought last week. In fact, there's only one difference. And Salamence is replaced by Cloister. But I feel like this squad is more than capable of getting the job done. And now you're gonna have to wait until Sunday to know the results. Shoutouts to my boy D.Rey. He recently hit 1,000 subs. Go check him out. He's gonna be my opponent for week 2. The battle goes up on Sunday. And you know what I'm saying? I'm out this bitch.